We're back with Diesel the Doberman.
Now, Dobermans are known for these almond-shaped eyes and really short coat, which is great because it doesn't need brushing. They also have very long legs, so once they get up and running, they can be very quick.
They sure are, and they come in several different colours. You can get them in red and fawn, and like Diesel here, black and tan, which is probably the most well recognised.
Well, the dog in our next story has been behaving a little strangely. Our vet Geoff is on the case.
Today we're here to meet Daniel the Spaniel. Carol, what's the story with Daniel?
Well, the problem I have with Danny is that he scrapes his bottom along the floor. Usually after he's done a poo, sometimes for no reason at all. My friends and family think that it's quite funny, but I'm not so sure, wondering whether or not he's got a bit of a problem.
So I see, yeah, he's getting ready to have a poo now.
Yes.
Okay, so he's just passed something and runs over and he's just rubbed his bottom on the ground, just
Nearly
short and sharp. Every time he does that.
Yeah. Yep, here it is here.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yep, see?
Yep. So normal looking poo, and there's no reason for that really to be irritating him. Okay, well I think I've seen enough. I reckon we'll head back home and let's just examine Daniel, see if we can find anything else. Okay, so we're going to do a quick physical exam on young Daniel. So I'll just check his eyes and his conjunctiva. They're all fine. Have a look in his mouth. He's got the most beautiful teeth. Lymph nodes are fine. He's got plenty of condition on, Carol. He doesn't need to be any bigger, does he?
No.
I can feel his pulse. His pulses are nice and regular. And looking around at his bottom here, just having a wee look, everything looks pretty good around there. I'm going to take a little skin swab with this cotton bud, and what I'm looking for is a sample of the cells from around his anal area. This is a very common place for yeast infections. When they grow on the skin around his bottom,
Good boy.
will be quite itchy. And I'm going to take this back to the clinic and I'm going to examine it and see if I can see any evidence of yeast infection around his bottom. What about worms, Carol? You mentioned as we were walking that you have wormed him before.
Yeah, it was only wormed a couple of weeks ago, but it was just the normal worming tablets that you get from the supermarket.
Okay, so a lot of the supermarket wormers are fine. What we're really looking for here is a wormer that will cover whipworms, because whipworm infections can cause irritation, especially lower down in his bottom. So to be on the safe side, I think what we'll do is we'll take that that fecal sample that you so kindly collected for me before, nice and fresh, and we're going to run that back and get the lab to do a fecal egg count and just see if there's any signs of any worms there. I think it's very unlikely. I don't think that's the cause of the problem at all. The final thing we need to do, we want to check out these anal glands, because that's what we're concerned about. You know, maybe he's got problems with his anal glands.
Yes, that's what I'm wondering.
The reason I want to do this is I want to be able to feel one anal gland by itself. So I can feel now the left side of his bottom, and I can feel his left anal gland, and his anal gland is about half full, a third full. And I'm just gently expressing it now, and you can see it's not bothering him. And now I'm switching around to do the right side, and you know, if you guys were here, unfortunately you would be able to smell this faintly fishy smell. You might recall that skunks use their anal glands as a means of defence. So I can see on this paper towel there's virtually no material there at all, just a little bit of yellow staining, but if there's only a small amount there, I'm not concerned at all. So I think his anal glands are good.
Okay, good.
So that almost leads me to think that I reckon he's just got a style to when he has when he goes to the toilet. He just feels like having a quick skid, a clean of his bottom after he's been to the toilet, and then off to do what he wants to do. So that's fine. Daniel's happy.
Clean bill of health.
Scooting has numerous possible causes, maybe a yeast infection, worms or blocked anal glands, so it's best to have a vet check. And thanks Danny, wasn't he a great patient? Good boy.
Well, Daniel's tests all came back clear. He's just got one of those quirky little habits.
Well, no bottom shuffling for Diesel here, but Dobermans are very active dogs. They need physical exercise every day, so a long walk on or off the leash will keep them fit and you happy.
And speaking of fit and happy, the SPCA do a lot of work throughout New Zealand improving the lives of lots of animals, and one way we can help is by volunteering.
Sometimes the SPCA is confronted with a super pet, like Sally.
brought into the SPCA with a 4-week-old kitten who she nursed. SPCA staff then gave Sally 2 more orphaned kittens to nurse. When the kittens were big enough, Sally the supermum was adopted to a new family. Nationwide, hundreds of volunteers give thousands of hours support to the SPCA. Smaller branches rely almost entirely on volunteers, while larger branches with paid staff have teams of volunteers. Volunteer roles include fostering animals, site maintenance and cleaning, fundraising, as well as committee work. Talk to your local branch, as each region's needs are different. For contact details, go to the website. After the break, Jeremy visits Ariel Reef, home of some amazing wild stingrays.